This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us, America. We're so glad you're here as we talk about your life and your money. We talk about helping people build wealth, doing work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. The phone number is 888-825-5225. Jacob's going to start this hour off in Fargo, North Dakota. Hi, Jacob. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hello, Mr. Ramsey. It's a pleasure to meet you. How are you doing?
Better than I deserve, sir. How can I help?
Great. So I'm a 20-year-old college student, and I recently finished my sophomore year of college, and I'm currently studying to become a nurse. I have roughly 2 years left of my program, and I'll be able to graduate debt-free in 2024.
Good for you.
In addition to that, thank you. In addition to that, I currently work as a CNA at a large hospital in the Fargo area, and I was recently approached by my manager, who came up with an offer for me, and she presented an offer where I would be able to work at this hospital for 3 years after graduation. In addition to that, I will receive a $30,000 sign-on bonus. Given that I'm only halfway through this program, I'm a little hesitant at the moment to take this offer, but I'm curious if this is something I should entertain.
So the only advantage to you is $30,000.
Correct. And I've had a really strong working relationship with this hospital, and I do enjoy working at this hospital.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Have you looked at options in your area for other hospitals and what the pay would be?
I have a little bit. Currently, this hospital pays about $2 less an hour than other hospitals, but it's a very good starting wage for nurses in this area, in this part of the country. So it's I consider it to be competitive.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I'm kind of with you. Number one, let's just establish nursing, incredible career path. And as long as I've been doing this show for 30 years, there's been a shortage of nurses.
Correct.
So you've always been able to land a job, and lots of different kinds of jobs, actually, within the nursing field. And so a lot of flexibility, always a need for you, that kind of a thing. So if that's kind of our baseline, then off of that, I don't think I'm tying up myself. You don't need the money. You've got a way to work your way through school with no debt. You told us that. Way to go. Good job. And so the money's just kind of gravy on the biscuit. It'd be nice, but it's not like I can not have to borrow student loans if I do this. I might think about it then, but in this case, you got your way mapped out to go all the way through, and then you're a free agent upon graduation. I'll bet you could get more than $30,000 at that point.
True. Yeah. And that's the part that I'm struggling with is it's really hard to predict what would be out there in 2 years if we're at a peak now, if this is a good time to take an offer. But I agree with what you're saying here.
I think there'll be again, I'm going to establish the fact in my mind anyway, anecdotally, I don't have research to back it up, but that there's pretty much always a shortage of nurses. And so that means that you will be able to land something, and probably something with a signing bonus. I wouldn't doubt it a bit. So
cool.
I kind of think that offer or better might be on the table at graduation. I might be wrong. We're gambling a little bit.
What's the harm in waiting until graduation?
Well, $30,000 if they don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
You miss out on that if we're wrong, right? If it's off the table. But the way I answer questions on this show is, if I woke up in your shoes, what would I do? I'm going to bet that there's going to be as good a deal or better on the table, and I'm going to say thanks. Let's talk as I get a little bit closer to graduation.
Okay. That's the advice I needed to hear, so thank you so much.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you calling. Man, I got to tell you, George, these This is the sharpest bunch of 20-year-olds I run into. They're everywhere. Of course, I'll call the show, and, my gosh. I mean, he has a question written out, but, but still.
It gives me hope.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
People actually want to work out there.
When I was 20, nobody's offering me a signing bonus. I'm just saying, okay? I'm just saying. All right. AJ is with us for good reason. AJ's in Austin, Texas. Hey, AJ, what's up?
Hey, Dave, George, thank you guys so much for having me on today. I really, really appreciate it.
Sure. How can we help?
Well, I'm calling. I just started Financial Peace. Me and my wife started Financial Peace University about 3 or 4 weeks ago. We're on baby step number 2. It has been absolutely great.
Good.
We're still working on trying to get our budget figured out and how that actually works. So I'm working with the instructor there to try to help with helping us understand it a little bit more. But the reason for my call is I got a call today from a company called ADR, Alternative Dispute Resolution Center, and they said that they were going to be their legal courier and they were going to be delivering papers to me tomorrow.
Okay.
Explaining that we had a judgment against us from Bank of America saying that we owed them $1,263.
Mm-hmm.
And it was they said, overdraft fee from 2007.
Does that sound like something that happened?
I vaguely remember, to be honest with you. But I guess it is somewhat possible.
I mean, did you have a bank account with Bank of America in 2007?
I'm not sure, but I think I may have. It's been so long ago, obviously. It was obviously if I did, it was very briefly. It was very brief in regards to having it. But I guess I'm calling.
What is going on in your life in 2007 that you can't remember who your bank was?
Well, I had recently just got drafted. I remember I had gotten drafted to play ball. And
you were paying attention to nothing, okay, except baseball.
I wasn't paying attention to anything except baseball.
Now that makes sense. That makes sense. All right, so you think there's at least a reasonable possibility that you open an account with them and that these overdraft charges might be true?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so when they deliver it tomorrow, if they really do, that's probably BS. But when they deliver it tomorrow, call them up and offer them a settlement.
Well, the guy told me on the phone today, he said that once they deliver the paperwork, he said that I can no longer call them in order to negotiate. They said I'd have to go to, I guess, whoever the company is here or the court and
we can do that.
My case before them.
That's fine. That's fine. Go to them. Because I'm saying this isn't going to be delivered.
Okay.
I'm saying this guy's lying.
Okay.
I may be wrong, but what's the worst case scenario? They deliver the papers, and then you call the new people and negotiate with them. Whoever it is, if you have a bill outstanding from 2007, wants some money, and they would love to settle with you. They'd love to take $500 and make this go away. You got a little money stored up? You could come up with $400 or $500 and make this go away?
Yes, sir.
Good. Well, don't negotiate with a doob on the phone.
And don't give them access to your checking account either.
Under any circumstances, if you settle a debt, no access to your checking account to settle it, and you must have it in writing that the settled amount settles the debt in full. It can be an email, that's fine, but no electronic access to your checking account. George is right. This is The Ramsey Show. Look, I love real estate, and I want you to have a house, but I don't want a house to have you. That's why you need to get in touch with Churchill Mortgage to make sure you do this right. These guys are awesome. They'll help you get on a smarter mortgage plan because they're committed to doing what's right for you. That means they check in every year with free consultations to help you stay on the right plan. They show you how to save money and interest so you can build wealth faster. They walk you through the total cost of your loan so you can make the best choice. Basically, they care. That's why we call them Ramsey Trusted. You can achieve debt-free home ownership, and Churchill is here to help. Go to their site, churchillmortgage.com/Ramsey, to start your approval or get more information. Imagine the energy of a jam-packed arena filled with people ready to experience what it means to have life to the fullest. Picture all your favorite speakers together on one stage, giving you the tools and the principles that'll create unstoppable momentum in your life. Well, that is Smart Conference. Yep, Smart Conference is back. It's been 3 years. We're so pumped to get the event back on the road in Dallas. That's right, Dallas. We're headed your way on Saturday, October the 22nd. It's all of the Ramsey personalities, and we'll be speaking, of course, on money, on personal growth, leadership, mental health, relationships, career, and our friends Pastor Craig and Amy Groeschel from Life Church are coming. They're going to speak on marriage. It's going to be incredible. You won't want to miss this. Dallas tickets are only $39 for a whole day. And at the end of the day, you will leave smart. It's the Smart Conference. You're going to love it. Hey, I'm serious. This is a blast. We should charge $339 for this lineup. All of the Ramsey personalities on the lineup. It is going to be a full day. Get your tickets now at RamseySolutions.com/events. And George, we will be in Orlando a week from Thursday doing our last Building Wealth event of the spring. And then we've got 4 events in the fall. But Orlando, May 19th, if you still want tickets, they're only $25. A 4-pack if you want to bring some friends for $60. That's $15 a ticket. You can't buy a pizza for that. So come on out. We'll be in Orlando 1 week from Thursday, May the 19th. And that Building Wealth in Las Vegas the other night was a lot of fun.
If Orlando's anything like Vegas, we are in for a good time. The people there were amazing. There was a lot of people who didn't even know. They were like, this is my first thing with Ramsey ever, and it was amazing. There's people who are longtime fans of ours who have done all the baby steps, and it was just encouraging to be with real people who wanted to transform their life. So That's what these events are about.
You know, in the Building Wealth event, one of the things we talk about is that when you get desperate, afraid, or angry, the higher thinking parts of your brain shut down, and you don't make good decisions. So I have found in my life, if I get greedy, if I get afraid, if I get desperate, right after that I get stupid. And right after I get stupid, I get broke. And so that's what's happening in the housing market right now. Because, oh, God, the house prices are up, and oh, God, the interest rates went up, and oh, God, I'm never going to be able to get a house. Oh, God. And once your brain starts doing that, you're getting ready to do something stupid.
Party's over. There's going to be a lot of regret, and they call into this show and go, Dave, I did something stupid.
Dave.
Help me.
So where were you 3 years ago when I was doing something stupid? I was sitting right here. That's where I've been for 30 years.
They always find the show.
I haven't moved. I'm still here. And I'm still telling you the same things about money because these principles that we teach are timeless. Now, we teach people to get out of debt, to stay out of debt. When it comes to a house, it's the only debt we don't yell at you for, and we always have told you, and we still will tell you, even with the house prices so high, to get a 15-year fixed rate where the payment is no more than a fourth of your take-home pay. Now, why do we do that? Just because we're killjoys? Just because we don't want life to be good for you? No, we do that because we love you.
We care about your financial future more than that banker does, more than the mortgage companies do.
We're not making money off of this. Off of you getting a mortgage or not getting a mortgage, or you getting a house or not getting a house. It's okay. We're okay. You're okay. But here's the thing. If you get in crazy mode because of what's going on out there, you're going to buy too much house. You're going to put it on a 30-year, and you're going to be stuck in the middle class or lower middle class loop, all in the name of buying a house, because buying a house is financially smart. If I can't get one now, I'll never get one.
Well, they're throwing money away, Dave. They're throwing money away on rent. That's the argument.
Calm down. It sounds like a weather forecaster when there's a tornado warning. That's the way your brain sounds. Oh, God! You know.
That's their Super Bowl. That's where they get to create all the fear.
Oh, man. So, yeah, that's and when your brain is doing that, so, and people do it when, the first time I ever heard it was like, okay, I live in California. Math doesn't work in California. Well, we kind of know that, but yes, it does.
For different reasons.
A lot of psychedelic drugs involved in this, but yes, it does work. Yeah. So here's the thing. Speaking of California math, CBS News is reporting one of the biggest hurdles in buying a home is coming up with a hefty down payment. California has a new program to, in quotes, help first-time home buyers jump that hurdle. What do you think, George?
Oh, boy.
Keep reading. You got it.
California's Forgivable Equity Builder Loan allows first-time homebuyers who have enough income for a monthly mortgage payment to borrow up to 10% of a home's purchase price to buy a house outright. The loan has an interest rate of 0%, but borrowers who don't occupy the home for at least 5 years may have to repay the loan. What a concept.
So you can borrow your down payment at 0% from California. The new effort comes as real estate prices have hit record highs in California, and rising interest rates have pushed monthly payments up hundreds of dollars. This is the way people's brains sound. I'm telling you, I know exactly how your brain sounds, because this is how mine sounds right before I do some stupid butt stuff. It sounds like a beagle chasing a rabbit.
Is that what it sounds like?
I don't know, something like that. But I mean, your brain is shutting down.
But the
a
numbers
standard
on this
down payment of 20% for a home in California could cost upwards of $100,000. Well, no kidding.
That's the thing. If you get $1 million home and they're letting you borrow up to 10% at 0% interest, so letting you borrow $100,000, you still then have to go get a $900,000 mortgage. And that's if your income qualifies.
Now, that's assuming you qualify. But here's the problem, okay? You can't look out there 5 years in the future and know what stupid butt stuff the state of California is going to do that makes you want to leave. And you can't leave.
Because then you have to repay that loan.
Ta-da. Here is the thing. So even crazy people that believe in debt are saying don't do it, aren't they, George?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Credit Karma came out and said, this is probably a bad idea.
If Credit Karma is saying don't borrow the money, this tells you don't borrow the money. I mean, this is like Jack Daniels telling you not to drink bourbon. Okay? I mean, it's some bad bourbon, right?
It's got to be bad.
Oh, my gosh.
And I looked into this. Your income has to be less than 80% of the area median income. And so they're saying if you're broke enough, you can then afford all of this. And like I said with the numbers, housing in California, not cheap. So even with the borrowed money, they're allowing people to borrow way more to get into homes they can't afford.
Okay, so these are less than 80, so you're 8/10 of the median, the middle income of the area.
To qualify.
So this is middle income or lower middle income people only that are going to get in this trap. Yeah, which are the people that can't get a house. Oh, God, you can't get a house. Listen, I'm making fun of you because I know how your brain sounds. I know that some of you have a valid concern about buying a home in this market. It's scary out there. House prices have shot up like crazy. All the indications of all the data from the industry is it's going to calm down. No, it's not going to come down. It's going to calm down. And data that George and I saw in a meeting yesterday was that in 2020, house prices went up 32%. In 21, they went up, what was it?
18?
No, it was 14, I think.
Okay.
And they're expecting them this year to go up 7%.
So it's slowing down.
So the rate of, and the average house price year is about 4%, okay, over the last 25, 30 years. So we've had this huge spike post-pandemic. The spike is tapering off. There will continue to be an appreciation, an increase in value, but it will be more reasonable. And no, you're not going to get priced out of the market if you continue to grow your career, you continue to manage money well. Are you going to buy a house right now? Probably not. You might be too broke to buy a house right now. You might be too broke to buy a car right now. You might be too broke to go on vacation right now. So don't do it.
But Dave, I got to live my life.
Yeah. YOLO, baby. YOLO. I'm serious. All this stuff is temporary. And so calm your butt down. Don't use the emotions of the current inflationary cycle to cause you to dive off the deep end into a pool with no water. It's just don't do it. Don't do it. Calm down. This is The Ramsey Show. If you're looking for ways to update your home without blowing the budget, I've got it. For years, I've been telling you about our friends at Blinds.com. Blinds.com makes it simple to shop top quality blinds, shades, and interior shutters from home with easy online ordering and free shipping. With Blinds.com, there's no need to renovate your entire home. Just change out what's on your windows with upscale choices like faux wood blinds, cellular, and roller shades, or even outdoor shades. Plus, Blinds.com guarantees the perfect fit, whether you do it yourself or you have them measure and install everything for you. Shop their latest looks and see how much you can save at Blinds.com today. The easy and affordable way to make your home more beautiful is Blinds.com. Ramsey personality is my co-host today in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions. On the debt-free stage, David and Sarah are with us. Hey guys, how are you?
We're doing great, Dave. How are you doing?
Better than I deserve. Welcome. So good to have y'all. So, how much debt have you paid off?
We paid off $187,000 in 2 years and 8 months.
Good for you. Good for you. And your range of income?
Range starting when we actually got intense and started eliminating the debt, $150,000, and then about halfway through we had our first child, and at that point Sarah stopped working, went down to about 100, and then she's been able to work part-time from home. So we're back up to about 110 at this point.
Excellent. Good. Okay. And where are you guys from?
We're here from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. And what was the $187,000 in debt?
So $12,000 was a car, $75,000 was student loans, and the remaining $100,000 was our house.
What? You paid off the house!
We did.
Weird people!
We are weird, and we are happy about it.
I love it. Way to go, guys. All right, what's this house worth?
So conservative estimate would be about $165 at this point.
Fun. Very cool. Very cool. And, oh, my goodness. How old are you two?
I'm 30.
I'm 29.
And you have a paid-for house.
We do.
That's whacked.
We do.
That is whacked.
Yeah.
I bet you don't have any 30-year-old friends that have paid-for houses.
Not that I am aware of. I like to think of George as my friend, but...
There we go. There we go. This is good.
Dang.
Starting a trend here.
I like this.
I'm really impressed with you guys. What made you, out of curiosity, go, you know what, we're not going to just tackle the car loan and the student loan. We're just going to keep plowing through to the mortgage. Are you just that weird?
I would say it took a little while to get to that point. Starting all the way back at the beginning, I grew up with your plan, and a huge fan of the show for a long time. And I didn't have any debt. But then coming in to the marriage, I had never actually had the opportunity to practice the principles, and then
I had to come and tell him that I had student loans during marriage counseling, which I thought he knew, but apparently he had no idea.
That's what marriage counseling is for.
That's true.
Precisely, yeah.
Pre-marriage counseling.
Yeah, that's right.
Correct.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just remember telling him and thinking like, oh, he might be kind of disappointed or whatever, but his face just lit up and he was like, I get to practice what I believe. And
You were
he
joking.
was so excited.
And the way he phrased that was so healthy.
Game on. Yeah.
So I had the opportunity to experience debt. Wow.
That's exactly right. So once we were done with
Your
paying off
car loan also, Sarah?
So we actually, it's a longer story than this, but when we moved, so he's in the Air Force, and so when we changed stations, I actually got a job before him, and so bought a vehicle for my parents, but we didn't have the money to pay for it all at that time. So they were gracious enough to allow us to have the vehicle and then pay them back in installments.
They were gracious enough to get you further into debt. That's sweet.
They did. We just owed them.
Yes.
Wow. All right, so $12,000 and $75,000 comes with the package.
That's
Correct.
right.
All right. Cool. And then, so you get married, and it's just both of you are talking about this, and you find out, Sarah, that you've married this guy who thinks this is fun.
Yes.
I mean, how sick is he, really?
Pretty sick. I do remember another funny story. I came home when we were living separately because I got a job, and he was still, we were in California before, and then moved to North Carolina. And I came back to visit, and he had your book, like, with him in his bed. And I was like, what are you doing while I'm gone?
Her exact words were, "Stop sleeping with Dave Rants."
Oh, man. They're going to clip that one for YouTube. I know it.
I was like, I meant to put that back
You
on the
said that
shelf.
out loud.
Oh, dear.
That's fun.
Anyway.
Okay, gosh, you
But
guys.
you took it in stride, and you decided, all right, game on, we're going to pay
Yes.
this thing off.
That's exactly right. Yeah, basically, back to your original question.
How long y'all been married?
We've been married almost 4 years. 4 years
Okay.
next week.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
Wow.
Well, thank you for your service. What do you
Yes.
do in the Air
Well,
Force?
thank you for your support. I'm a nurse in the Air Force.
Excellent.
Yep.
Excellent.
Cool.
Good work. All right. And now we're done. House and everything.
That's right.
Yep.
So now you've officially not only studied the theory, but have actually experienced it, David.
That's right.
And Sarah, having done both as well now,
Yep.
what do you tell people? I mean, you're 30 years old, you have a paid-for house. That's weird. What do you? How do you do that? That's what they want to know, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I would say the biggest thing that I've learned is just learning to be content with less. So I remember very vividly, like, starting my career, because when we got married timed out to when I finished school. So I, like, quickly learned, like, now I have a discretionary income. I've never had that before, and what that looked like and how to kind of use that money in a way that we wanted to and felt like was honorable. And so quickly I learned, though, that, these goals that we had and that David kind of taught me about aren't normal. And so,
No, they're not. That's why we call you weird.
That's right.
Exactly. And so for me, it was a big learning experience of just being able to feel content and just be happy in what we did have and being thankful for, what the Lord has blessed us with, and being okay with not having the nicest car in the parking lot and the nicest house. So yeah, I would say that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, and the only thing I would add to that is keeping a really firm grasp on your why, like why it is that we're doing it. Basically, we, like you, Dave, we believe that everything that we have, financial abilities, material possessions, all those are things that have been given to us. They aren't things that we've earned. And so being good stewards and being responsible stewards of the resources God has given us, starting off to build a foundation to be able to do that is what we were really, really excited about.
Yeah.
What a
Man,
sharp
these guys,
couple.
These guys
Goodness
are fun.
gracious. I know.
Man, this is awesome.
Was it hard to see your friends doing all the things, having all the things, and you guys were like, nope, we're trying to pay off this debt?
At times, it would definitely be difficult. So with my job in the military, I travel quite a bit. And Dave, you are probably familiar with this. The military is not the best when it comes to financial responsibility. Telling a military coworker that you don't have an Amex card is kind of like saying I'm from outer space and I'm here to help you. So anytime we would travel, it's like, hey, we're going to Centurion Lounge, and I'd be like, sorry, I can't get into that. And they'd be like, well, why not? Did you lose your card? And I'd be like, well, I don't have one. And then I would go spend the time at the terminal eating my leftover food rather than going to all the restaurants. So doing that over and over and over again does eventually wear on you, but you also begin to embrace it as well.
Yeah. You start to take it on as a brand.
That's right.
I'll take
Absolutely.
no payments as a flex over having an Amex.
I would agree with that. I
That's
will say
just
the
me.
card is metal, which is kind of cool, but that's all right. Other than that,
A little tougher to cut up.
that is true.
I have to get the tin snips out.
Yeah.
I had to do that one time. I had the big old scissors, and that guy brings me that metal card out,
Uh-oh.
and I'm like, oh, man. Making this hard.
Chainsaw.
Yeah, I think Amex probably did that because of me.
Hey, you should definitely take credit for that.
They're trying to keep me from cutting them up.
I believe it.
Yeah, I'm sure it was that. Matter of fact, I'm positive. Yeah. You guys are awesome. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Well done. Who are your biggest cheerleaders?
Yeah, so we have been really blessed to just have a lot of family and friends that have been really supportive of us and like the lifestyle that we've chosen to live. A couple specifics that stand out: we have our friends Ryan and Brittany here, and they're also Dave Ramsey plan holders. They're holding our kids, or our kid and their kid. And then also David's younger brother Steven is also a big Ramsey follower, and we've talked to both couples just about our journey. And Steven actually, and his wife Jess, they lead financial peace classes at their church.
God.
So they're very invested in good resources to chat with. So, yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, very well done, you guys. Again, very proud of you. And you're in a rare situation. That's why we call you weird. Just very, very well done. Well, we've got a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires for you. That is the next chapter in your story for sure. That's where you're headed. We're also going to give you a card for a 1-year membership to Ramsey Plus, which puts you into Financial Peace University and into Every Dollar for a year. If you guys don't want to use it, it's a great thing to give away, get somebody else started. Same thing with the Total Money Makeover.
Absolutely.
And the gift card for this and 1-year membership to that, plus the Total Money Makeover, plus the Baby Steps Millionaire. All right, David and Sarah, bring up your little guy here. Nathaniel is with us. $187,000 paid off in 2 years. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. We're debt free.
That's fun. I love it. I love it. This is The Ramsey Show. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. This is The Ramsey Show. Manuel is with us in San Antonio. Hey, Manuel, how are you?
I'm doing good, Dave, and yourself?
Better than I deserve. How can we help?
Excellent. Okay, here's the scenario. My daughter, who's going to graduate later on this month from high school, she has the opportunity to attend either one of 2 universities. University A for $88,000 total, and University B for a total of $208,000. She wants to go, of course, to University B. How do we explain and or convince her that University A is the better option?
Okay. What is she studying?
She wants to study to become either a biology or chemistry major and then pursue a medical degree.
Okay. Do either one of these, do you have any actual data that more people get into med school from either one of these universities?
It's about the same.
You have actual data, or that's a guess?
No. We looked at the acceptance rates into medical schools from both of these universities.
Okay.
And
so her attending the more expensive does not help her get into med school.
It doesn't increase the probability, no.
Okay.
What's her reasoning for going to the more expensive school?
It's away from home.
There it is. There's the underlying issue. So how far away from home is this?
Wait a minute. So the first thing I would say to her is, okay, if you're going to be a medical doctor, you have to use critical thinking skills. Okay?
Correct.
And so basically what we're saying is these 2 schools have the same acceptance rate, and so you are not paying a dime more to go to the for education. Your only reasoning is you want to spend an extra $140,000 or whatever this comes out, over $100,000. You want to spend an extra $100,000 to live away from home.
Good point.
Yeah. And so that's this is not a discussion about education. This is a discussion of am I willing to pay for you to live away from home?
Well, the answer is no.
Yeah, not am I willing to pay for, if you went out on your own and just weren't going to school and you graduated from college, high school, and went and got a job and went out on your own, I'm not paying for that. That's like your job because you're like being an adult and stuff, right?
Right.
And so if there's another good reason, I mean, we can discuss it. I don't mind asking a series of questions. I assume you're paying for this.
Yes, we are paying for this.
Okay.
How much money do you have saved up?
Well, we have enough saved up for for University A at $88,000, but we do not have enough saved up to go the extra $120,000 to the $208,000.
Yeah. So you can cash flow University A.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The answer to that is yes, but not cash flow University B. There have to be other options there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, there's yet another reason. I don't want you in student loan debt.
Exactly.
Does she have any skin in the game here? It feels like she has no concept of how much money this actually is at 18.
Initially, I thought she had the concept, but recently, after our discussion, I don't think she does because she insists on wanting to go to University B, and it's like, well, we can't afford it. And it's like, that just caused a shutdown in the conversation.
Okay. Well, we can't afford it, but also I think we just need to talk through the reasoning of what's going on here, okay?
Right.
I love you, and I want what's best for you. I don't want you in debt because it's not best for you. B, I want you to be able to live your dream. I'm not trying to tell you to not live your dream in terms of going to med school, but there's no difference between these two on going to med school. And so really all we're paying for is for you to live away from home, and we don't have the money for that. And so, honey, I'm just sorry as I can be. It's just it's a horrible thing to be you. You're going to get your college paid for, but not the one you wanted to go to. And you're not going to get to move away from home in order to do that. And so unless you figure out a way to pay for it, if you figure out a way to pay for it, and by the way, if you paying for it is you taking out student loans, I'm not going to give you the $88,000. I'm not going to subsidize your stupidity.
Oh, good point. I didn't even think about it to approach it from that perspective.
Yeah. And so and at the end of the day, I love you. I've got your best interest at heart. I have $100,000 almost laying here to help you do this, to live your dream. And I'm willing to put all of that towards you because you're my daughter. I love you more than life itself. But I'm not going to participate in things that don't bring you good results. Now, if the other school had an acceptance rate that was 5x, School B did of School A, then I'm going to start scratching around trying to find scholarships. I'm going to have her working an extra job. I'm going to have you working an extra job. If we can get her into med school 5x times, 5 times more likely, then we can talk about trying to make that happen. But so far, I don't hear any value for School B in what you've presented to us other than she gets to live away from home. Whoop-de-doop-de.
Right. Yeah. Now, for more information, she is a really smart cookie, and she's gotten.
I would hope she is if she's trying to get into med school.
Exactly, and she's gotten tons of scholarships, and that's why these numbers are quote unquote as low as they are. But yeah, there's still
This is net of scholarships.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly. Wow. Exactly. So. It's incredible what she's accomplished, but
these are both expensive schools then.
Yes, sir, they are.
Yeah.
They are. But again, we're willing to go with School A because we got the cash flow for it. Can't go to School B. Like you said, we're not going to fund her to live away from home.
Yeah.
At our time.
And honey, if you'll go out in the driveway, you will notice that there aren't 2 Bentleys sitting there because your mom and I can't afford them.
Right. No.
And you will notice your mom does not. You will notice your mom does not have a $400,000 diamond on her hand because we can't afford it.
Right.
And so money is finite. We're not in Congress.
Good point, sir.
You know, and so, I mean, this is just a values lesson. And, you know, but I think underneath all of this, and I would really hesitate to play the card, but underneath all of this at the end of the day is I love you so much that I'm just going to make you do what's smart for you because it's my money.
Okay.
And, you know, I really wouldn't say that if I could possibly avoid it. Instead, I would try to reason. I would try to persuade. I would ask questions. I would talk it through, get her to come to the conclusion I'm really just paying to live away from home because that's really the net of what we're talking about here. And we want you to live this dream, but if you live your dream in an improper way, it becomes a nightmare.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to, any more than I'm going to let you spend this money on cocaine, I'm also not going to let you spend this money on something else that brings you harm.
Right.
And a reminder that med school is still on the horizon, which is a whole nother beast to tackle financially.
Yeah, exactly. Financially is another beast that we're going to have to tackle together 4 years down the road.
Yeah.
And
so we got to have a long-term vision here. We have to have a long-term game plan, and part of this is an immaturity going, well, I just want to live away from home. Well, that's not worth $120,000. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, hang on. I'm going to have Kelly pick up. We're going to give you a promo code. I think we've got them for the Borrowed Future documentary, do we?
Okay.
Or we can get you one, I think, if not. And you guys watch that together with her, you, your wife, and her. Watch that. Watch the documentary. It will blow her mind and yours. It's all about the epic failure of the student loan crisis. There's a doc in there that's almost $1 million in debt. And an orthodontist in the documentary.
I'll bring you to tears.
And he's crying. It'll make you cry when you watch it. It's unbelievable. Yeah, Borrowed Future just won #1 Webby Award.
Yeah, long-form documentary.
Yeah,
very cool.
This is The Ramsey Show.
Do you love a good Dave Rant? Want to see the latest Ramsey Show videos going viral? Check out your favorite moments from The Ramsey Show on YouTube. Go watch and subscribe to The Ramsey Show channel on YouTube.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where dad is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. George Camel, Ramsey personality, host of the Ramsey podcast, The Fine Print on Ramsey Networks, is my co-host today. We help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. We're glad you're with us. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Thank you for being part of the program. Melissa is in Jersey City, New Jersey. Hi, Melissa. How are you?
Hi, Dave. Hi, George. Thank you so much for taking my call. It's an honor to speak with you today.
You too.
Thank you. My question is, my dad passed away a few months ago. He was your typical, he was your typical everyday millionaire, had a net worth of about 1.3.
Wow.
After I split that with my siblings, obviously my share will be a third of that. One of the things he left is an annuity, and I'm just not sure what to do with my share of the annuity. I don't know if I'm supposed to cash it out or roll it over or just I don't even know what to do with an annuity. That's my question.
You are one of the beneficiaries on the annuity, I assume.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I would just take my money.
Okay.
And then do with it wherever you are in the baby steps. You don't need an annuity. You don't want money in an annuity at your age unless you're in a very unusual situation. How much money is this?
That's about 42. The annuity is only about 42,000 out of the 1.3.
Yeah. Where are you in the baby steps?
Well, let's see. I guess I'm 4, 5, and 6. I'm contributing 15% into fully funding my retirement.
Mm-hmm.
With this inheritance from my dad, I'll put away a big chunk for my kids for their college, and then the rest I guess put towards my house.
Yeah.
Just keep
Yeah. So I would
along
use
and
it. You're
following
going to use this 42 on 5 or 6, and the same with the rest of it.
Is the 42 before the split with the 3 of you?
That is before the split.
Okay.
Oh, so you're only getting $15,000-$20,000. Okay.
Of the annuity, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's definitely take the money. Just use that probably towards the kids' college or wherever. It doesn't matter. It's free money. You don't have any income tax on it. You don't have any penalties on it. You don't have anything on it. And I'm so sorry for the loss of your dad. So sorry. What a horrible thing to go through. Brian's with us in Chicago. Hey, Brian. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hello. How are you?
Great, man. What's up?
Well, I'm divorced. I've been divorced for about 5 years, and I'm currently paying, and for these 5 years, I've been paying my ex-wife spousal support payments of about $2,100 a month. And that was based on my income at the time of $110,000, but now my income's only $60,000 due to a lot of COVID damage to my business and so forth, and not able to make as much money. So I wanted to seek a adjustment to the spousal support payments, and it's kind of up in the air how much it could be adjusted because it's up to the judge. And if we were getting divorced today based on my income, I would only owe her about $600 a month. But when you seek a modification, they don't necessarily apply that same principle. They leave it up to the judge and how much he feels it should be adjusted based on the change of circumstances.
Gotcha. How can we help today?
Well, in the discussions of trying to get this modified, my wife has floated the idea of she'd be willing to take a one-time buyout. Mm-hmm. So, like, I'm scheduled to pay her for life or until she gets remarried, or, maybe when I retire, it could be adjusted. But she's willing to take a buyout of about $50,000, and I'd be pretty much a one-and-done payment and would not owe her anymore. But due to my financial situation, I don't have that money. The only way I could get it is to take it out of my IRA. But I'm age 60, and I've only got about $70,000 in an IRA.
How old is she?
So she's 54.
Yeah. No, you can't afford to do it.
Well, like I said, unless I take it out of the IRA.
You can't afford to do it. If you take it out of your IRA, you're going to get charged a penalty of 10% plus your tax rate. You're borrowing money at 35 or 40% interest to buy her out. That's not a good deal.
Well, I don't think there's a penalty because at 59.5 you can.
Oh, that's true. You're 60. Okay, so you're just going to pay your tax rate.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not going to clean out your.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, you don't have a financial advisor, do you?
Well, I do, and I talked to him, and he wasn't totally against the idea because when you compare...
That wasn't what I was asking. What I need him to do is I need him to do a net present value calculation for you on $2,100 a month for 20 years.
Yeah.
And what is that going to come out? That's $24,000, $25,000 a year for 20 years. Yeah, 50 grand is probably not a bad offer.
Right. I mean, it would really, help me out because there's no signs that she's going to get remarried or anything right now, and I could be paying her indefinitely for many, many years, and that's a tremendous drain on my finances to pay her.
Yeah. What are you doing to get your business back?
Well, I've done all sorts of marketing and advertising. I've done some networking and, online stuff, and it's just very difficult. It hasn't been working, so I'm really struggling.
Okay. I want your financial advisor to do a net present value calculation on this and tell you what your rate of return is, because there's a thing called a discounted value, or in other words, a stream of payments is not worth the total. $25,000 for 10 years is not worth $250,000, but it might be worth $50,000.
Okay.
And it probably is. It probably is. That's probably a very low discount rate or high discount rate. And so and you can have your financial advisor explain that to you and tell him to run the calculation. Dave said on net present value. And I think it's going to be north of $50,000, so I think that's going to make this a good deal. Now, what you've got to do then is you have to take the $2,100 a month that you don't have anymore as a bill, and you have to get down and dirty about rebuilding this nest egg ASAP.
Yeah.
George?
Yeah. I mean, what I'm seeing here is you can see what the adjustment is, but I don't want you to limit your income because you now have this new payment where you go, well, I don't want to make any more because they're going to adjust it again. And so I'd rather you get this income up and do what Dave's saying and see if we can fix this thing once and for all instead of paying this for life.
I like being rid of the bill and her. She's the ex. Both of these are good things, and I like every bit of that. And so it's not a bad thing. I just want to make sure the calculation's right, and I can't do it in my head right now. But I'm thinking what I am doing in my head is leading me to north of 50. So, God, that's a big alimony payment.
Yeah.
This is The Ramsey Show. Chaos. That's what it can feel like when your business is growing so fast you've outgrown your financial and accounting software. The faster you grow, the more likely you are to lose control of the numbers. And here's the reality. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. That's why we use NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. Over 28,000 companies use NetSuite by Oracle, including Ramsey Solutions, because NetSuite gives us a single view of everything we need to make daily decisions. Whether you're making a few million to hundreds of millions a year, NetSuite gives you the visibility and control of the things you need to grow, like your financials, inventory, HR, planning, budgeting, and more, all in one dashboard. Go to netsuite.com/Ramsey right now to get their free white paper. Jumpstart your CFO career. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is he is my co-host today.
Thank you.
I don't have multiple co-hosts. We have one, and you is it.
We've got multiple personalities, but hopefully not in this room. That's the key.
I've always had multiple personalities, and then I proved it by getting them. So there you go. It's one of the best times of the year here at Ramsey. We're giving away up to $3,000 during our Ramsey Cash giveaway. We're discounting our best-selling books for only $10 each. George, what's the last thing you got for $10?
Oh, probably some pad thai.
Some what?
Some pad thai. I got some pad thai. I got a takeout meal from a Thai place nearby.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's under $10.
It was just about, yeah.
Okay.
That's what I budget for. Is mostly I buy things for food to eat. I'm trying to think of an item that I purchased that I was like, this is worth $10 to me. I'm pretty frugal. I'm trying to think what that might be.
Yeah,
What's the last thing you bought for $10? That's a great question.
I have no idea.
What does Dave Ramsey spend $10 on?
I have no idea. It would have to be something. Something silly like buying a soft drink or something. It's just like you can't get anything for $10, but you can get books for $10.
Really? In today's day and age,
our books for $10. You can either spend $22 to go to the movie, $15 for a pizza, $10 for almost 2.5 gallons of gas.
That's sad.
That's real scary. It's not even worth putting the thing $2. Oh man, $10. I'm done.
And that's why I got the electric car, Dave.
That's it. Well, yeah, that cost you more than $10.
That's true.
So, Hey, $10. You can spend. You can get the Total Money Makeover. You can get most of our best-selling books. They're on sale right now at RamseySolutions.com. Don't forget to enter the Ramsey Cash giveaway. Travis is with us in Indianapolis. Hi, Travis. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ramsey and Mr. Campbell. How you gentlemen doing this afternoon?
Great, brother. How can we help?
Well, first of all, I just want to say on behalf of me and my wife that your program, your financial university has been a blessing to us. God has used your program to be a blessing in our lives. And my wife, I have to say this: if you ever need a new personality for your program, she will be excellent. She does radio.
She's laughing in the background.
News, and she just a beautiful person, beautiful personality. And we YouTube your episodes, so she loves your program, and so do I. And she just heard on the background. She said, "I love you, Dave."
Well, we appreciate it. This is awesome. Very cool. How can we help you guys today, sir?
Well, sir, I was calling because we're at step 3B, as you call it, where we're saving for a down payment on a house. Okay. And I'm 43. My wife will be 39 this year. I'll be 43 tomorrow. And right now we have about, I would say, up close to $20,000 saved for a down payment. We got $13,000 in our emergency fund. And the reason why I'm calling is that I have some concerns about, because we haven't been saving for our retirement, but we're still saving for our down payment. And considering our age, should we move that snowball that we accumulated throughout our debt and move part of it to retirement while saving part of it for our down payment for our home, number one? And number two, where do we put that savings for our down payment? Do we put that on top of our emergency fund, or do we put that in a separate account altogether?
Great questions. I like to separate them personally because I don't want to get them all mixed up. And all of a sudden, the house down payment becomes part of the emergency fund. So I like to just separate them, having a different high-yield savings account or money market savings account. That's fine. And to your other point, you guys at your age, 43 and 39, it's a valid question. Should we start investing while saving up the down payment? And there's a few ways to go about 3B. Some people, they start investing 15% while saving up down payment. Some people split the difference. Maybe invest up to the match from your employer while saving up the down payment. And some people do zero investing and go all in on the down payment. It sounds like in your case, you're getting a little antsy doing nothing in retirement right now, correct?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. And so I think the whole point is, you can decide if you want to go ahead and buy a house with $20,000 down. You're going to end up probably with PMI in that case, private mortgage insurance, because you're not putting down 20%. But, on a first-time home purchase, we don't tell people, we just warn you about PMI, but we don't yell at you for not putting down a full 20%. Second home, you should sit on your tail until you have 20%. I mean, because you should avoid PMI. But when you're trying to save up and scrape up, and you guys have been working this diligently, if you want to go ahead and buy with $20,000 down, if it'll get you in the house, I don't know if it will or not. I don't know what we're looking at here. But if you want to continue to save, we tell people not to do zero retirement between baby step 3 and baby step 4, to not get stuck there at 3B more than 3 years at zero. So, it can be 3.5, but I don't want you saving for a down payment for 10 years and not doing retirement. So that's the point of the whole thing. So, hey, thanks for calling. We appreciate you joining us. Our question of the day comes from Blinds.com. Find out for yourself why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. You get free samples, free shipping, and with the new promos they run every month, you'll save even more. Use the promo code RAMSEY to get the best deal.
Today's question comes from Austin in Oklahoma. I'm a real estate agent, and I opened up an S-Corp this year for my business. My question is in regard to tithing. Should I be tithing off of the S-Corp gross revenue or off the amount of my paycheck minus the S-Corp business expenses?
Well, the Scripture says to tithe on your net increase in Deuteronomy. Your net increase would be your net profit in business. And sub-S or not, you have a net profit. Whether you have a sole proprietorship, an LLC, a sub-S, all three of them have a gross revenue minus expenses equals net profit. And you would tithe on your net profit because that's your taxable income if you want to get the technical mathematical answer. Now, if you hold some money back in the S Corp for retained earnings, which you probably don't need to do in this case, I'm not sure you need an S Corp as a real estate agent. I'm not sure that was a good move. You can certainly meet with your tax advisor to find out, but I'm questioning whether that's smart or not. But if you an LLC might have been better, but I'm not sure you even need either one. You can do whatever you want to do, but there's no extra write-offs for having an LLC or an S Corp because it's 100% pass-through. So anyway, all that to say, I tithe on my taxable net income. That's the technical answer because I tithe on my net increase before I pay taxes. What my net increase is, my net profits out of Ramsey. And that's what we use around here. And if I don't take it home, I don't tithe on it. If I leave it in the business for retained earnings, I don't tithe on it. You can if you want. I don't care. Listen, you can split hairs on giving and tithing 43,000 different ways. God is not mad at you. He loves you. He wants you to have the principle of being a giver because he's a giver and he wants you to be like him. When you say you're Christ-like or a follower of God, then you would do, he's a giver. And you want to model giving. That's the main thing you want to do. And build in some kind of process where there's a standard, regular rhythm of giving.
Yeah, one of my favorite lessons is outrageous generosity inside of Financial Peace University. And you talk about this issue of, splitting the tithes and splitting the hairs, and everyone wants to have an argument. And it really comes down to the heart. Are you a generous giver? That's what it comes down to. And I think Austin's got a great heart about this. He's just wanting to get a little bit of that nitty-gritty. And it's a good question, but I like the idea of just going, what is the net profit? What is the net income? That's what we're going to tithe off of.
If you want to give more than 10% of your net profit, you're welcome to, but that's not the definition of a tithe.
No extra jewels on the crown in heaven for that?
I mean, tithing off the gross, tithing off the net. I mean, there's all kinds of scriptural indications is off the net. Your gross revenues, you might not have a 10% margin even. You might have profits of 3%. That's possible. And so we tithe off a net increase straight out of Deuteronomy. But again, I'm not a legalist about it. God's crazy about me. He's crazy about you. I give because my loving Father says it's the best way to live is to be a giver. This is The Ramsey Show. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Washington Post is reporting that Fidelity Investments, with its quarterly retirement analysis, has discovered the same thing that we already knew from the Ramsey study of millionaires done a few years back, the largest study of millionaires ever done. The title of the article is Move Over Crypto. A record number of workers are becoming millionaires with their boring 401ks and IRAs.
I love to hear this news. The more boring, the more excited I get as an actual investment strategy. So here's what it says. Meet the newly minted millionaires next door. They didn't put all their money into Microsoft-type stock that made them rich. They didn't take a chance on speculating in crypto with its crazy volatility or start a business that they sold to some billionaire. No, these are government workers, civil servants, educators, military folks, managers, coworkers clocking in just like you. And many never earned six-figure salaries, which we found in our millionaire study. 1/3 never had a six-figure household income in a single working year. And so in its quarterly retirement analysis, Fidelity reported that the number of IRAs and 401k millionaires hit an all-time high. That's impressive.
There it is.
And not shocking.
401k millionaires. By translation, they had over $1 million in their 401k. They may or may not be actual millionaires, depending on how much debt they have. But because you're an actual millionaire is what you own minus what you owe is your net worth, your assets minus your liabilities. But assuming that they don't have a bunch of other debt running around, they've got over $1 million in their 401k, they very likely are millionaires, and that's what we found. We found that the typical millionaire, it took them 12 to 15 years to get there. 89% did not inherit the money that made them a millionaire. Did not. 9 out of 10 did not. That's actual facts, not your broke brother-in-law who votes left-wing's opinion. This is actual facts by actual airtight research. Okay? So 89% did not inherit the money that made them a millionaire. And we can actually prove that with the largest study of millionaires ever done. Now, having said that, then, we say the average is 12 to 15 years to get there. We had two primary components to their net worth that caused them to get their first $1 to $5 million of net worth.
One of those was a paid-for home, which we found that the average millionaire pays off their home in 11 years, and the other is their retirement account. And so when you add those things together, when you've got a paid-for home and you've invested 15% of your household income into 401ks and IRAs, it's amazing how quickly you get there. In the span of your lifetime, it's a blip. And 79% of millionaires in our research reach millionaire status through their employer-sponsored retirement plans. So This is not a theory.
It's pretty simple, guys. Pretty simple. And it is kind of like the article says. It's a bit boring. There's really nothing nothing you get to brag about to your friends.
There's no adrenaline rush.
Yeah, you're playing golf or you're fishing with your buddies. You don't get to brag and say you did something really brilliant. All you did was just steadily invest and pay off your house. Ding, ding.
Then I can't watch crypto over the weekend 24/7 go up and down, which Bitcoin just had another crash.
No.
I know.
Not
I'm sorry
again.
to hurt your feelings, Dave.
Oh, I hate it when I'm right.
Do you?
Not really. That was sarcasm.
I sensed a little bit of that.
I actually don't want anybody to lose money. I'm not wishing for someone to get hurt. That is the truth.
But it's the crypto bros who think Dave's out of touch.
And they have been wearing me out, too. So giving me a hard time, like I'm an idiot all over social media. Because, once you join the crypto bandwagon, you're like...
Oh, yeah.
It's like
We talked about this at the Building Wealth event, Dave. The people who are into crypto are really into crypto. They're obsessed. They're trying to sell all their buddies on crypto. And so we came to the conclusion that cryptocurrency is just Mary Kay for young men. But you don't get the pink Cadillac. That's upsetting.
No pink Cadillac.
Maybe in the metaverse they have a digital version.
Oh, a virtual Cadillac.
You can get an NFT of a Cadillac.
Yeah.
You can get a picture of it.
You don't really have a Cadillac.
Well, it's a virtual ownership.
I know, but you don't really have one. I'm just saying virtual means not really.
The next thing, Dave, this is going to make you mad.
If I virtually send my wife flowers on the anniversary, I don't get anything. I'm just saying. She's not going to like this. It's not going to be a happy day at Ramsey, okay? I virtually sent you flowers, darling. That means I almost did it. Yeah.
I think the next trend is going to be NFT timeshares. It's a sense of ownership of a sense of ownership. In the metaverse, you buy the timeshare. So we can both live next to Snoop Dogg for one weekend at a time. This is not a far future, Dave. I think I'm a fortune teller.
Oh, this is a redundancy department.
We're losing our minds.
Oh, we're going to get an NFT timeshare, a sense of ownership of a sense of ownership.
That's how that works.
That is what the timeshare people tell you. You have a sense of ownership, which means you don't really have ownership, but you kind of can get a whiff of it.
Yes, a whiff. I like that.
A whiff.
Oh, man. This is the culture.
Oh,
this is what we're up against, Dave.
Lord Jesus, help us. Oh, you're going to do an NFT timeshare next door to Snoop Dogg.
I lose brain cells every time I read headlines like that.
Well, if you were next door to Snoop Dogg, you might be.
That's true. Can you get secondhand smoke in the metaverse? I'm going to Google that.
Can I get virtual secondhand?
That is a Google search waiting to happen.
Oh.
What a time to be alive. Did you ever think in your lifetime this would be a reality? Because you've seen a lot of stupid stuff in your day over 30 years, but it's getting out of control, even for you.
Hey, man, no, I didn't have any idea. This is, I actually didn't think the internet was going to work. So
you were one of those. You went, this is a fad.
It's like, you want to spend $5,000 and build a website? What? This is when it was first starting, with dial-up, right? 14.4 hookup, right?
I remember those days. I wore out those AOL free trial discs.
Hey, Dave, you got that internet? Yeah, I got that internet.
And you had to either use the phone or use the internet. See, I'm not that young,
it's like
guys.
your fax.
Yeah.
You could fax stuff.
I walked uphill
before there was
both
email.
ways.
But yeah, man, when I got in the real estate business in 1978, we had these things called fax machines. We were members of ERA, Electronic Realty Associates.
Yikes.
And we would send over this magic machine black and white pictures of a listing in another city. And it would print off. Took it about 4 minutes to print one page. And it was an electronic transfer.
And people were buying real estate based off of that?
Oh, no, they would agree to come look at that piece of real estate with you. They were not dumb enough to buy it off of that.
That's what's happening
The dumb
today.
enough to buy it off of that happened later. And they're coming from other cities where they're so desperate to buy a house. I haven't even seen it. I'll buy it.
Sight unseen, no inspection, no appraisal, don't care, 100,000 over asking.
Yeah. I'm just in a bidding war.
We've lost our minds.
Yeah. So
do they teach critical thinking still in school? Is that it? There's no class on that, right?
No, we don't teach thinking anywhere in the United States. We don't think anymore. So we used to have like arguments and debates because we didn't have Google to solve it.
Oh,
you can't
that's
have
true.
a good fight now because somebody Googles the answer.
It's me. He's talking about me. You and Rachel are fighting, and I go, guys, it was 2018. And you go, we were having fun arguing. Why'd you have to go and ruin it?
Yeah, because Rachel and I do have fun arguing. So if you want to be a newly minted millionaire, according to this article, it is backing up the details that are in the book, Baby Steps Millionaires, and in the study that is outlined in the back of the book, Baby Steps Millionaires. Now, if you want to be a billionaire, it's a different formula. You will not become a billionaire with your 401k. It's mathematically impossible. But a billion is 1,000 million.
That's a lot of millions.
So just in case you were wondering, you're 1,000th of a billionaire when you're a millionaire.
Wow.
You're just a peon.
You're not even close at that point.
Yeah, you're just a peon at that
But you can have a great life as a millionaire. You don't need to be a billionaire. That's the good news.
A greater life than if you don't.
There it is. Perspective. That's what we needed.
There we go.
Thank you for using your critical thinking skills. You still have a few brain cells left, Dave. Turns out.
I'm worried about this sense of ownership next to Snoop Dogg with secondhand virtual smoke. I'm just worried about this whole line of thinking, George, has got me upset.
Well, the only way to make money there is if you're the one selling it. So get to selling some NFTs, Dave.
I'm going to have to...
Hard pass.
Hard pass. There you go. This is The Ramsey Show. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today here on The Ramsey Show. David is with us in Rock Springs, Wyoming. Hi, David. How are you?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So I'm about 40 grand in debt. Was on baby step 2. I have about 15 of that in collections between credit cards and medical bills. I own a truck. I own a motorcycle. I'm wondering if I should attack the stuff in collections first or the stuff that I got current first.
Are you paying payments on the things in collections?
I am not. I just recently started a job. I've put about $9 grand towards getting current on things that didn't go in collections yet.
Yeah, good. That was smart.
I've been asking for proof of debt.
Mm-hmm.
These things in writing,
Mm-hmm.
but waiting to hear back.
Yeah. What kind of debt is the $15,000 worth that is in collections?
It's about 5 different credit cards, ranging from $1,000 to $5,000, and then a medical bill at about $2,500.
And how long have it been since you paid on them?
Oh, it's been a year.
Okay.
I was out of work for over a year.
All right. What we usually recommend is that you do 2 debt snowballs. Debt snowball number 1 is the things you are making payments on, not the $15,000. Okay, so you list those things, the car, the motorcycle, whatever, smallest to largest, and you're telling me you got about $25,000 of that.
Yes.
What's your income?
New job, but it's going to be probably about 90 to 100.
Okay, and you're single?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so making $100,000, how fast do you pay off $25,000?
Oh, 6 months is what I'm hoping. I was hoping to have this whole.
There you go.
I started at 50. I was hoping for 1 year.
Yep.
Had a couple wrenches thrown in it. Had a truck stolen, and found out I have to move for this new job.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but so 6 months from now, 6 or 7 months from now, you will have plowed through your baby step 1. And you do that smallest to largest, right, George?
Yes. And then the motorcycle, could you sell that? Is it worth anything?
Man, it's going to hurt me. I can't do that for my sanity. I can't.
What kind of bike is it?
Harley Ultra Classic.
Okay. And what's it worth?
It is worth probably $12,000.
Okay.
I think I owe about 9 on it.
All right. Well, I would start without selling it then, but I'm with George. You could step up and do that at some point. You may choose to do that later. We'll leave that up to you. Okay. Now, once your debt snowball, the first $25,000, smallest to largest, is cleared, you're starting to see the point now. You don't have any payments.
Yep.
Okay. Now, when you don't have any payments, then we're going to take big chunks of money and start saving. Now we're going to list the $15,000, and you said it's like 5 or 6 different debts, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to list those smallest to largest. I'm going to call the small one. What is the smallest one?
It's probably $500-$600.
Okay, I'm going to call them anything under $1,000. I'm just going to get verification of the amount in writing and send them a check. Okay. And so if you call them up and they say it's $504, they send me an email for that as a final payment, and I will pay it this week. Okay. No electronic access to your checking account. Now, if you think it's $500 or $600 and you call them up and it's $1,500 because they've added a bunch of collections fees and late charges and other stuff, then you go, we want to settle this for $500, what you originally owed.
Right.
And you begin a negotiation and argument with brain-damaged people, which will take a while. Okay?
Yep.
Because when you're dealing with credit card collectors, you're dealing with people who couldn't get a good job. So you're stuck with them. All right? But you got to work your way through it because you owe the money. So we're going to keep arguing with it until we get it settled down to close to the original amount owed or a little less. They will negotiate down on a year-old debt, believe me.
Especially that medical debt, too.
Yes.
That one you should be able to negotiate down, and if they go, hey, that $2,500, we're willing to take $1,200, do it.
Right.
But
so it's going to be a part-time job.
In every case.
What are we doing? No access to the checking account, of course, and get everything in writing. That's the key here. But this is going to be a part-time job for you. I mean, this is going to be a little fight to the finish. But once you're done with that, man, you're never going to look back. You're never going to touch debt again.
And the reason we pay off the other $25,000 first is it gives you more money, since you don't have any payments after that, to be able to attack the stuff that's in collections. The stuff that's in collections feels like it's more urgent because it's behind, but you're not paying payments on it. So you get no cash flow benefit when you clear it. You just cleared it. But when you pay off the motorcycle, you get a cash flow benefit because you don't have the payment anymore.
Yeah.
And it helps you move forward in the thing. So we knock out the things with payments first, and then we go do the ones that are in collections. And the good news is you're going to be done with all of it within a year. You'll be done in a year. But you're going to live on beans and rice and beans, and that's if you keep the motorcycle.
That's right. I just like accelerating any plan that is painful. But clearly that motorcycle is going to cause them more pain to get rid of than the debt payoff. So that's your choice.
Yep. Danny's with us in New York. Hi, Danny. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. How you doing? Thanks for taking my call. I appreciate it.
Sure. How can we help?
I've been watching lots of your videos, and I'm a high school senior who's looking to go to a school for physical therapy. And I've watched several of your videos about the student debt crisis and all that. My wife and I have saved up enough to send him to his undergrad. He's looking to go to this private university for his physical therapy doctorate program. It's a 6-year program. What me and my wife feel is that this entire process has been very rushed for him. It was a very last-minute decision to attend this university and has left him kind of with no other choices. How could I, in your opinion, how could I explain it to him in a way that he understands how it will affect his future having to take out student loans for his doctorate degree, which could probably amass to around $130,000 to $140,000?
Yeah.
Without him resenting me, saying that you couldn't go away or I didn't let him go. It's not that I want him to go away because he's a great student, great kid, no issues. I believe he'll probably be very successful at it. But there are cheaper alternatives.
Yeah.
Where I could probably pay for his entire.
Let me tell you how many people ask where your physical therapist went to school. None.
Yeah, I've heard you say that too. Nobody.
Why does he want to do the doctorate program?
You want to be a PT, you have to get a doctorate now.
Okay.
Yeah, so the particular university he's been accepted to offered him basically like a 40% scholarship.
But 40% of too much is still too much.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I'm going to put my arm around him and I'll say, look, here's the thing. Where you go to school to be a PT and live your dream doesn't matter. Overpaying for your dream is going to turn it into a nightmare. Going into debt for your dream is going to turn your dream into a nightmare. Paying double or triple to become a PT at one place versus paying 1/3 to be at another place is asinine.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Why? Because where you went to school, 99.9% of the jobs don't give a rip. The only people that care are the snobby people that went to those schools that you play golf with. They're the only ones that care where you went to school, and they don't pay you any money.
Right.
They're not a customer, and they're not a boss.
It's a flex. That's what it is at that point. So I'm not doing that. What I would do is sit down with him, and we'll gift you a promo code to watch Borrowed Future, because I know you're in on this, but it doesn't sound like he's aware. And so we got to make him aware of what this whole reality of the situation is. So 88 minutes of your time, Kelly will pick up. We'll get you a promo code for that. Yeah. Sit down and watch that with him, have a discussion.
Here's the thing. There's 3 things you get when you go to school: an education, an experience, and the prestige of where you went to school. The experience and the prestige are worth 0. Don't pay $200,000 a year to play beer pong. That's a dumb butt move. This is the Ramsey Show. Dave here. You can find all of our shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. It's the only place to listen to the entire back catalog of episodes. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today. This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today as we answer your questions about your life and your money. We help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Jennifer is with us in Dallas, Texas. Hi, Jennifer. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. Hi, George. Pleasure to speak with both of you.
You too. What's up?
Hi. So I have an IRA that was from a past job. I rolled over into its own account. So my question is, should I move that money into my 401k where I'm currently investing and putting my 15%, or leave it in that separate IRA account?
I would just leave it in that IRA account.
Okay. Even though no money is going into it?
Correct. But it is sitting there in good mutual funds, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. If it's in good mutual funds, I would just leave it alone. You've got more control of it there. We never recommend you move old IRA money into new, or old 401k money into new 401ks. Instead, put it out in an individual retirement account. You can pick the same mutual funds if you want, or better ones, and you've got better access and better control, and it will grow at exactly the same rate or a better rate than it would if you moved it inside the 401k. George is exactly right. Joel is with us in Cleveland, Ohio. Hey, Joel, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, Dave? So I'm kind of a new listener, so wanted to give you a call. So I'm getting married in 3 weeks.
Congratulations.
Thank you very, very much. My fiance and I have been living together for the last year. We've tried different budgets. We've tried different ways, different websites. Nothing seems to quite work. We kind of end up just a race to zero. We've got a combined income of about $100,000. I've got about $5,000 in credit card debt. She's got about $3,000 in credit card debt. We've got $4,000 in savings, and I've got about $20,000 in mutual funds.
Okay. Car debt? Any car debt?
No car debt.
Student loans?
So she's got about $20,000 in student loans.
Okay. All right. Cool.
But I do not. And
well,
we're just trying to
typically there's two things that cause people to not be able to stick to a budget. One is that they're using a wrong technique, which we can help you with. Two is they're not really committed to the idea. In other words, if you write it down on paper and have no intention of actually doing what you wrote down, then guess what? You're not going to do what you wrote down.
Yeah, since combining like a bank, I just feel like we've had less control, and I guess it's harder to pay for two than pay for one, and it just seems like a lot closer to zero than it used to be.
This is extra confusing. I mean, if you've got multiple incomes coming in, you should only have more there versus less. But we recommend a zero-based budget, and I don't know if you've checked out EveryDollar. It doesn't sound like you have. That's our budgeting tool, and I will gift that to you guys as a wedding present, including Ramsey Plus. You'll have access to all the videos inside of Financial Peace. But once you start your EveryDollar budget, it's super easy. We want to list out all of your income, and then we're going to list out all of your expenses. And when you subtract
for that particular month.
And when you subtract the expenses from the income, it should equal zero, meaning you've assigned every single dollar a job. We don't want any of your dollars unemployed. And once you do that, and then, by the way, you have to stick to it and actually track it and go, how much money do we have for food when we go grocery shopping? Then we're going to stick to that budget, and that's how you're going to get that control. But I can write down a workout plan every week, Dave, and if I never work out, I'll never get in shape.
Yeah. So you assign every dollar a mission, every dollar a name. That's why we call the app EveryDollar. Both of you look at that before the month begins. It's unique to each month because every month's different. Okay?
Okay.
And then once you've assigned every dollar, both of you look at it. Both of you make changes until every dollar has a name. No extra slush money laying around. Every dollar is assigned. All the income you have coming in, net that month to work with, is assigned to something. Then it's assigned to something. Both of you agree with the assignments. You agree with the mission. And then you pinky swear and spit shake. This becomes a freaking contract that says if we're not going to spend more than X number of dollars on restaurants, then by God, stay home. Don't go to the restaurant. You're contracting with each other. We're not going to spend more than this on clothes this month. I don't care if the purse is on sale. We agreed.
You have to make that extra trip to Target.
We agreed that this is what we were going to spend. Don't lie to me. That's what you're saying to each other. You're contracting. You have to make it a very serious relational commitment. That's why both of you need a vote in the formation of the thing, because otherwise you're bossing her around or she's bossing you around.
It becomes a weapon.
But instead, you're, as a couple, saying, our goals are X, and the best way to achieve our goals is this list of expenditures this month, and we're not going to do something other than that unless something really nasty bad happens, and then we have to come back together and together decide on how we're going to change our budget before we do it. You don't come home from Target. You don't come home from the grocery store. You don't come home from happy hour and go, well, honey, look what I did. That's not cute. That's childish. And that's the thing where I'm talking about you committing to sticking to the plan. But laying out the technique, the technique is every dollar has an assignment. As George said, that's called a zero-based budget. The two of you coming together and agreeing that this is what we're going to do. That's the technique. Now, typically, we always say, Joel, you said you're new to this stuff. We always tell folks, typically a married couple, one of you is more of a nerd that's into the details, and one of you is more of a free spirit that's less into the details and isn't going to think this is fun. And the nerd thinks doing a budget is like great fun.
Correct.
Okay.
I'm the nerd who's more free-spirited.
Yeah, that would be normal that the nerd calls and asks this question. Okay, how do we do a budget? Free spirits don't ask this question.
She's at Target right now.
Yeah.
So there we go. We figured it out.
Yeah, she's getting her nails done right now. So, but, you know, in my house, I'm the nerd. My wife's the free spirit. And so, same as at your house, Joel. So what we have to do is this. Nerds need free spirits in their life so they have a life. Free spirits need nerds in their life so they don't retire and have to eat Alpo.
Correct.
So that you need each other. If two people just alike get married, one's unnecessary. So you need each other. You need to be working off each other's strengths. Both of you have a vote. This is a coming together of a value system. It's not you bossing her around, her bossing you around. You're not the boss of me.
And this
Welcome
might take
marriage.
2 to 3 months to get dialed in, so don't give up. If the first one you go, oh, we couldn't do it, let's give up, we can't do a budget, stick to it. And Kelly will pick up, we'll gift you guys a year of Ramsey Plus, which includes every dollar, our premium budgeting tool. Let us know how it goes.
And go all the way through the financial peace class. It's included in that. We just gave you a great, expensive wedding gift.
Still on baby step number 1, eh?
How'd you guess?
With healthcare costs rising, learn how Christian Healthcare Ministries can help you make the most out of your budget. Visit chministries.org/budget.
Don't worry, it's worth it.
How many of you are stressed out about your retirement savings these days? Should you be really freaking out? Probably not. But we all got a little drama queen inside of us, right? Yeah, me too. And that's why you got to have somebody in your corner to help you with your investing. Not to do it for you, but to help talk you off the ledge when things are going down a little bit. Someone to walk with you, talk with you, teach you, and that way you don't jump in and out of the market at exactly the wrong times, which is actually what your emotion will have you do. Your emotions will get greedy and cause you to buy when market's up, and it'll cause you to sell when the market's down. And this is exactly the opposite of what you should be doing. So instead, you should be investing and just staying in there, hang in there, hang in there. It's why we recommend a SmartVestor Pro. They're investing professionals that we've carefully vetted, and they work with you one-on-one to make a retirement plan you can stick with. Go to RamseySolutions.com/SmartVestor to find a list of SmartVestor Pros in your area. And one of them will sit down with you and help with your retirement plan, guide you through the ups and downs. RamseySolutions.com/SmartVestor. Lionel is with us in Midland, Texas. Hi, Lionel. How are you?
Good. How about you, Ramsey Show?
Better than we deserve, sir. How can we help?
Awesome. I had a financial question. I'm 31 years old, and I was considering opening my own business. I'm thinking about a laundromat. I just wanted to, ask y'all to see if it was the right timing for something like that.
Why a laundromat?
Because it's a passive income. I know the beginning of the business. I'm sure first couple of years I'm gonna have to be really. It's gonna take up the majority of my time, but after a little while, I want to live a free life. I don't want to be too tied up.
Yeah. You're gonna hate this because you've been lied to. It's not a passive income. The stupid washing machines break, and then somebody has to fix them. Somebody's got to go down there and get the quarters. Somebody's got to manage the change machine. Somebody's got to make sure the place isn't being thieved all the time.
Correct.
So it is actually running a business. It's not a passive income. A passive income is you sit and money comes into your mailbox. This is not a passive income.
Yes, sir.
So if you want to work at it, you can probably make some money. Laundromats they make good money. Do you have the money to buy one and set it all up?
I'm thinking of, I'm not going to use my personal money. I would want to ask for loans and do it with that. I have projected, I crunched some numbers down, and it would take roughly about $200,000 to start one from scratch.
Okay. Well, I can tell you what I would do. I wouldn't do it. And here's why. 80% of the small businesses fail in the first 5 years in North America, according to the Small Business Administration. The ones that fail, 80% of them, say the number one reason for their failure is cash flow problems. Now, let me define where cash flow problems come from having counseled small business people now for about 2 decades. Cash flow problems are not paying your taxes properly and getting behind with the IRS, not paying your sales taxes properly and getting behind with the State Department of Revenue, and having to pay payments on $200,000 worth of washing machines with quarters. That's going to kill you. Okay? You've increased the risk of failure 100-fold when you start talking about borrowing $200,000 to open a laundromat. And the numbers that you've crunched, I can tell you from having run businesses for 30 years, the numbers that I crunch are normally wrong. On a brand new venture, we don't know what we don't know. And your estimates aren't going to be that close. And the rule of thumb is this. It's going to take twice as long as you think, cost twice as much as you think, and you're not the exception. These are the 3 rules. And so, no, I would never go $200,000 in debt to open a laundromat in any economy, ever. Because your risk of bankruptcy is very, very high. Please don't do this. Please save your money. Start a business of some kind for cash out of your garage. Start small. Make some profit. Reinvest. Make some more profit. Reinvest. Grow your business gradually. But no, you should not go $200,000 in debt and think this laundromat's going to run itself. You've made 2 sets of assumptions here that are both going to cause you to walk into a nightmare. I'm begging you not to do this.
I think I know where this is coming from, Dave, because I've seen these videos on TikTok, and they're all these entrepreneurial types saying, hey, you should start a vending machine business and a laundromat business, and here's how easy the money is.
That old stuff has popped back up.
It's popped back up, Dave.
But it's on TikTok, so it's on TikTok, so it's cool.
Exactly.
It's cool to be stupid.
Yes, and so I think Lionel's got a good heart. I love that he has an entrepreneurial spirit, but he has been lied to from the videos he's seen about how easy it is to make this money. And some of the most heartbreaking calls we get.
This stuff has been around forever.
I know.
Man, I saw that same stuff. I was 20 years old. 40 years ago. Let me tell you what happened to me 40 years ago. I almost bought, I was going to pay cash, but I almost bought, you're going to die.
A car wash.
No, I almost bought 100 of those air compressors that you put at the market and put a quarter in you pay for air.
Oh, at the gas stations.
When they very first came out. I was there when they very first came out. And I almost bought 100 of them and put them out. And I got sidetracked doing real estate deals and left that to the side. But this was the same crap.
Yeah.
It was all get-rich-quick stuff.
Passive income.
You got to be an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs are where all the money is and all this stuff, instead of what a real entrepreneur does, which actually invents something or actually grow a business. But, yeah, I really just never could quite get past the humor of paying for air. And that's the other reason I didn't do it. And yet I have put a quarter in one of those things and aired up a tire a time or two. But like
someone became a millionaire off your quarter.
Like
so thank
four times in my life I did that probably. But yeah, it's vending machines. Let me just tell you, I know people who own vending machine routes that actually do it. They don't have a TikTok account. I can promise you that. It's freaking hard work.
Yeah.
And a lot of those machines produce almost zip. And then you got to move them and find another location for them. And then you got to move them again. And then people kick them in and tear them up. And, man, nothing is as easy as it sounds. And certainly nothing is as easy as it sounds with stupid butt TikTok videos.
But then no one's going to buy my online course as to how you can start this passive income business with your laundromat.
It's not passive at all. When someone says passive income and you have to work at it, by definition, it's not passive, George. Oh, my God.
Well, some of the most heartbreaking calls we get are the ones where they started a business, they took out a whole bunch of money in loans, and then the business failed. And now they have the heartbreak. On top of the business not failing, they now still owe $200,000.
Yeah, paying payments on your failure, that'll piss you off twice a day.
Yeah. That's heartbreaking. So don't do this. Move at the speed of cash. Check out all of our resources that the Entree Leadership Team has.
Get off of TikTok for your business advice. Lord Jesus. Unbelievable. I mean, this is cats chasing lasers, and
I'm glad you didn't have TikTok when you were younger, Dave, because you would have started about 1,000 businesses.
I would have fallen for every one of those things. I almost bought the air machines. I really did do that. I'm that dumb. I am that
You
dumb.
could have been an air machine mogul by now, but instead you're running this little business.
Yeah.
Wow, missed opportunity.
There you go. That's what happens.
Changing lives one
when
pump
you, when
at a
you
time.
don't when you don't one flat tire at a time.
That's right.
We'll pump you up.
Oh man. Wow.
Oh my God.
Let me tell you, meeting the people that come to our Entree Leadership events, that's inspiring.
I know there's a get-rich thing happening out there right now, a vibe happening, especially among you 20-somethings. And you guys think it's like the first time that this stuff has come up. That's what's so funny.
Like vending machines are the new thing.
Woo, yeah.
All the old trends come back around.
But,
with fashion, with business, it's all coming back, Dave. If you thought it died, let me tell you.
So apparently the catchphrase for Get Rich Quick is passive income.
That's it. Ding, ding. I'll buy your online course.
I've
redefined
the term improperly to mean easy money. You can make easy money. You don't have to work for a living.
That's right.
That's the
new American dream.
That's what TikTokers mean by passive income. I am learning so much today.
I'm here to educate and inspire.
Yeah. No, people, the real definition of passive income is an actual investment that just sends you a check, and you don't have to go down and get the quarters out of the air pump. Oh, my God. This is The Ramsey Show. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Sarah is with us in Maryland. Sarah, it says on my screen you're debt-free. Congratulations.
Hi. Thank you so much, Dave. Yes.
Way to go. How much did you pay off?
I paid off $43,000.
Good for you. And how long did that take?
About a year and 5 months.
All right. Way to go. And your range of income during that time?
Well, I started out at zero. I had to make my first payment out of my very meager savings. And then I started my job later that month at $87,000, and now I make $92,000.
Awesome. Cool. What do you do for a living?
I work for the government. I'm a cyber planner.
Ooh, nice. And your debt, the $43,000, what was it?
That was all student loans, Dave.
So you came out of school and a year and a half later jumped on it and it's done. Is that the story?
Yeah.
Way to go. What made you decide to jump on it so hard?
didn't want to turn out like my parents. And, 55, still paying on their student loans. I just wanted something different for myself.
Yeah. Well, what made you think you could actually do this?
A really big part of it is thanks to my boyfriend and his parents. They followed your plan to get out of their debt, and they taught me everything they knew. And I was like, hey, I think I can do this.
That's cool.
I'm impressed.
Way to go, boyfriend and parents. Excellent job. How old are you?
I'm 25.
Okay, so you're not waiting on the government to forgive your student loans, huh?
I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? No way. Let me just, I want to sleep at night. Let me just get this done with.
Wow.
Done.
You're close enough to D.C. to know it's never going to happen. That's what it is.
That too.
There we go. There's the real answer. You're amazing.
I
Way
love
to go.
it. Well, congratulations, Sarah. I'm proud of you.
Thank you so much.
How's it feel?
It is incredible. Like a huge weight off my shoulders. 10,000 of that 43 was all interest that accumulated. And to just not have that anymore, it's crazy. It's so great.
That's so fun. Good for you. Good for you. You got to also kind of feel like accomplished, like confident.
I don't know. I like to stay humble, but I really have to hype myself up sometimes to see, I did this.
Yeah.
I actually did this.
There's a dignity to it.
Yeah, I didn't think I really could, but I was determined, and that determination carried me.
Well, this is your chance to brag right here on this call, and we're here proud of you.
We're here to brag on you. We think you're amazing. Way to go, 25-year-old, paid off your debt. You didn't have to have somebody do it for you. You threw your shoulders back and knocked it out. Way to go, kiddo. Pop. I love it.
So
excellent.
What kind of sacrifices did you make along this journey, Sarah?
Well, I certainly learned a lot about delayed gratification. I had to push certain things off to the next month. I didn't always buy the newest video game, or I didn't always go to the movies with my friends. I put about a full paycheck and a little bit more every month to my student loans. And, I could have been wasting that on like a new car or a better apartment.
Yeah, you come out of college with a great income. You think, well, now's my chance to really show everyone all of my success.
Yeah. Exactly. That is a lot of people did, but I just kept it really down low. I liked what I have, and I stuck with it.
So I'm guessing your boyfriend and his parents were cheering you on. What other cheerleaders did you have?
Well, my sister definitely, but other than my sister, it was pretty much just my boyfriend and his parents. They were there every step of the way. And I would send them the screenshots of my payments so that they could, tell me how proud they were, and I could feel good about it.
Good for you. Well done. Hee. I love it. Excellent job. Okay, now that you've done it, what do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is?
Determination and sharing rent. Absolutely. If you have an apartment by yourself and you have a spare room, you're wasting money. Just get someone else in that spare room. Share your apartment.
Now, how did you screen your roommate to make sure crazy didn't come in there?
Well, my roommate's my boyfriend, so there's that.
That's one method of screening.
Exactly, right?
Hopefully he's not crazy.
We waited a couple years, I got the full. Made sure he's good. And he's a Ramsey kid, too, so,
There you go. No, he's a financial peace kid. He's not...
He doesn't even have a credit score.
Yeah,
he has no credit card, no credit score.
Wow.
Good.
Good for you. Way to go, Sarah. Excellent job. We got a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires for you, best-selling book, and that's the next chapter in your story. Also, we're going to send you a one-year membership to Financial Peace University in EveryDollar and Ramsey Plus. And on top of that, we're going to send you a copy of the Total Money Makeover to give away. And you've already lived a lot of this, and your boyfriend certainly knows a bunch of it, but you guys can enjoy going through the class together, hopefully as you're married, and move on to the next phases of your life. Congratulations. We're very proud of you. All right, Sarah in Maryland paid off $43,000 in 1 year and 5 months, making 0 to 87 to 92. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. I'm debt-free!
Yeah! That's how it's done right there. Whoop, whoop.
Wow. She wasn't going to wait on no one to pay off her debt and live her life. She said she wants to sleep at night.
If I thought they would listen to them, I would send 2,000 of those debt-free screams from 25-year-olds that we've done to Washington, so they would know that that student loans don't have to be forgiven. If we quit telling people that they can never get out, instead tell them they can get out, quit stealing their hope with politics, then we'd be okay. But instead we have to go, oh, you're pitiful. You can't make it without me. I'm in the government.
Well, how else are they going to get their vote?
How else am I going to get your vote if I don't buy it? So, and I have to run, but she's got dignity.
Yeah.
I mean, she has the power.
She's unstoppable now.
Controlling her life, not waiting on someone else to control her life. That's so cool. Megan is with us. Megan is in Minneapolis. Hi, Megan. How are you?
Hi. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
So I just started a business this year. I have a part-time job right now in that same industry on the side. I'm on baby steps 4, 5, and 7, and I'm wondering now that I'm done with my school, is it a horrible idea for me to quit this part-time job to make more room for my kids this summer, or should I focus on building my business or make more room to build my business, or should I keep my job until I get more clients for my business?
Are you married?
I am, yep.
What does your husband make?
So he makes about $35 a year.
Okay, and what do you make at your job?
So my part-time job, I make $1,300 a month. I haven't done my calculation.
Right. And what do you make on your business?
$1,100 a month.
Okay. So you're going to cut your income by 25% when you do this, unless you increase your business size, right?
Yes, yep.
Okay.
And the only reason why I ask, or that I would really like to cut this off, is because for the past couple of years, I've been doing full-time work, full-time school. I had my daughter. I didn't take a semester off, to have her, things like this. And I think I'm just kind of maybe hustled out a little bit right now at the moment.
How many hours a week are you working?
So I mean, right now I'm working about like 45, 50 hours a week. So, I mean, honestly, not like super overworking it if I will be honest. It's more so my business is more kind of like nights, weekends, and my part-time job is more like in the day.
I just don't, the 50 hours a week to make $28,000 isn't worth it, even between your part-time job and the side hustle. I'd get both of these things up.
Really?
You might consider a different career, one where you can make some money if you can't get your business going.
That's not enough to live off of.
But I'd get your business rolling. What I would do, if you like the business, I'd get it up and running, and get it running where you can make some good money on it at 40 hours a week.
And get the husband's income
normal
up.
Working hours. And, I think that's it. I think George is onto something here. And if you can't do that, then you probably ought to look at a different career, because you're not really making much money. That's what it comes down to. You wouldn't be so dadgum tired if you're making $130,000 instead of $30,000. This is the Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, Ephesians 6:11. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. Lou Holtz said, if what you did yesterday still looks big to you, you haven't done much today.
I like that.
You gotta love Coach Lou.
He's the best.
Coach Lou's spoken for us a couple of times at Entree Leadership, and he is always a standing ovation, always gets the highest speaker marks, and he is the highest quality of human being.
So much integrity.
Absolutely amazing man. Absolutely fun to hang out with, and just a great guy. So we love Coach Lou around here. All right, Miranda is with us. Miranda is in Raleigh, North Carolina. How are you, Miranda?
I'm good. How about you?
Better than I deserve. How can we help?
Okay, we are on, my husband and I are on baby step number 2, and we have 2 debts left to pay off. One is a credit card of $7,700, and then we have a car that we owe $23 on. And my question was, do we need to think about selling the car and getting a cheaper one?
What's the car worth if you sold it today?
It's a Honda Accord. I looked it up on Kelly Blue Book, and I think it's about $27,000.
Okay.
We just bought it last year.
All right, so you clear that debt and have $4,000 left over. Could you get a beater car for now for $40,000 until this debt's cleaned up and then upgrade?
I mean, I guess we could. The other car that we do have one other car that my husband drives. It's a 2012. And I guess we could.
Yeah, what's your household income?
After tax, it's $80,000.
Okay. The rule of thumb that we use, Miranda, is 2 things. Okay. If you like the car, which it sounds like you do, if you can be 100% debt free, except your home, in 2 years, car and everything, and the total of all of your vehicles' value is less than half your annual income. That way you don't have too much tied up in things that are going down in value. Then you can keep the car, or you should. Financially, it makes sense to keep the car, is the best way of saying it. But if you have, let's say that you make $80,000 a year and you got $70,000 tied up in cars, you got too much going down in value, right?
Yes.
Okay.
No, our other car is only worth $7,000.
I know. But I'm just saying as an example. Or let's say that you owed a lot more debt than this, and the $23,000 debt being gone would make a huge difference. Let's say you had another $40,000 in student loan debt. Well, you might need to get rid of the car so that you can get rid of the student loan debt, right? But in your case, I think if you like the car and you guys will fight to be 100% debt free in under 2 years, you would meet both of the general financial mathematical guidelines that we have to keep the car.
Okay. And I think we would be willing to do that. We just started your program in January, and we paid off almost $15,000 in debt in those few months.
Well, if you stay on that track, you would be debt free in 1 more year.
Yeah, exactly.
You're talking $3,000 a month.
We were just making sure.
Yeah, if you keep going $15,000, that's $2,500 a month. $15,000 is 6 months, whatever. Yeah, $3,000 a month. You'll knock this out in about a year, and if you do that, then it makes sense. If you like the car, to keep the car. But as George is pointing out, if you get rid of the car, you'll be debt free in 20 minutes here. But then you're going to turn around probably and save up and buy another car within a year, because you don't want to have that $4,000 car for long. That's a get-by car. That's not a car we keep. So I'm probably keeping it if I'm in your shoes, based on what you're telling me. That makes sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Alan is with us. Alan is in Riverside, California. How are you, Alan?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
Better than I deserve. How can we help?
So thank you for taking my call, Dave and George. So I am 24 years old. I'm getting married on Saturday.
Yay!
So one of the presents, yeah, thank you. So just jumping to the point, my grandma told me that she's been saving bonds for me since I was essentially born.
That's sweet.
And she had them all locked away. So she showed me them. They're in a big envelope every single month since I was born until now. We went online to like the Treasury website, whatever that we call the bank, to see how much it's worth. And so far it's about $14,000 for all the saving bonds that she accumulated over the years.
How sweet.
My question is, since some of them have not matured enough, because I was like doing the research, because honestly I don't really know much about these since like just about a week ago I found out, learned about these. So my question is, should I leave them in?
No.
Until like all of them are mature? Should I take them out? Okay.
Cash them out.
Okay.
That's the mathematical answer.
Mm-hmm.
Then the proper financial answer is apply them to wherever you and your new wife are on the baby steps. Where are you guys?
Yes. So We have no debt, and we already have our emergency fund, so we're saving up for our 3 to 6 months of living expenses.
Great. That's what this will go towards.
Okay. Should we just put it all towards there? Should we save some for our house? Or
No. You should follow the baby steps.
How much is 3 to 6 months of expenses for you guys? Do you know yet?
Right now, we have a house that we're renting, and it's $1,700 a month. And that's literally it.
Well, there's stuff like food, electricity, gas, insurance, other stuff, and so it's literally it's going to be literally like $3,500 a month, and so you need an emergency fund of $15,000. And if you have nothing saved, then that's fine. You use this money, and you have your emergency fund. Voila. If not, then you need to. And if you already have more than that, then you've got some towards your down payment on the house, right?
Yeah. And so after that emergency fund is done, that's where you start looking at your next goal. And I'd take a pause, keep renting as a newlywed couple, get to know your new spouse, and then you can start going, all right, do we want to start saving up that down payment in our area? Where do we want to live? Do we have our incomes? Do we have jobs that are in place? And then you can start investing 15%, and you're on your way, man. At 24 years old, that's a good place to be.
And if you tell your grandmother that you use this money towards a down payment on a house or towards having a rainy day fund, she'll be proud in either case, and that will be the truth.
Grandma said it's going to rain.
Yeah. You got to have a rainy day fund.
Awesome.
That's where Grandma got that.
God bless Grandma.
Yeah. So that you're right on track doing that. But yeah, you just follow right up those baby steps that we teach, Alan, and it doesn't change because it was a gift. The only thing you want to do is you always, when someone's giving you a gift, especially your grandma, you want to do something, or even an inheritance, you want to do something that honors the person that gave it to you and that they would be proud that you did that with it. And usually if you're doing smart things like investing or paying off debt or buying a house or something like that, you know, Grandpa, Grandma are generally going to be very proud of that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's not frivolous. And I'd love to give you guys a wedding gift. It's this Saturday. That's fun. So Kelly's going to pick up. We'll give you guys Ramsey Plus, which includes Financial Peace University, Every Dollar Plus. Go through these with your now fiancé, soon-to-be wife, and, man, it's going to change the game for your marriage, give you guys language to talk about money, give you guys some goals that you can set together. And I'm telling you, that's one of the best things you can do as you start this marriage.
Yeah, so make sure to jump in. When you get back from the honeymoon, you guys get settled in, jump into the Financial Peace videos online there, and we're going to give you all of that as our gift. And it'll get you guys started together, and it will walk you right up the same baby steps we were just using here right now. And so...
It's a good point, Dave. Don't watch it on the honeymoon. That's not fun.
Well,
do something more exciting.
I would claim Financial Peace University is an amazing course. Romantic... It is not. Okay.
That's a good point.
Just saying. Okay. So it's not, has nothing to do with that. So.
That's good. Enjoy yourselves. Hope the wedding goes well. Congrats.
There you go. So hang on. Kelly will pick up. We'll get you signed up for it. Those 9 lessons will change your life, son, if you'll go through them. It's good stuff.
Change mine.
Very good stuff. All right, George, good hour. Well, good hours today. Well done.
Thank you.
James and Ben and Kelly and Zach in the booth, thank you for all your hard work. I am Dave Ramsey, your host. We will be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.
Do you love a good Dave Rant? Want to see the latest Ramsey Show videos going viral? Check out your favorite moments from The Ramsey Show on YouTube. Go watch and subscribe to The Ramsey Show channel on YouTube.